Are you going to cut that out or?
I'm going to leave it in. That's what she said.
Nice.
Welcome back to your favorite podcast on the rocks with your host, Nick the Diabetic, and your boy, TD.
Can I be Mustache Nick today?
Sure.
All right.
Instead of Diabetic Nick?
Yeah, just for this one episode.
It was Mustache Monday at school Monday.
What's that mean?
Wear a mustache. I'm like, these kids can't grow a mustache.
Don't you have middle schoolers?
Elementary.
So
So they had like fake ones.
Oh.
I was like,
fake Mustache Monday?
that's what they should, fake mustache.
That would have
Monday.
been made more sense. Yeah.
Right, because now we're just liars.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we're not.
No, not on this podcast.
Not on this podcast. Going to be a sports podcast today. A lot of sports, a lot of stuff to cover.
There's a lot of sports stuff going on.
Yeah, good. All positive, I feel like.
This is a good time of year. Considering there's no football going on right now, this is a good time for sports.
We got playoffs for
Playoffs.
The only thing non-sports related, we'll just get it out of the way, the eclipse thing.
Yeah. I'm sure it impacted some sports somewhere.
Possibly.
Some kids playing like a pickup
It
basketball game.
went dark.
And they get blinded.
Imagine you were like just living on a remote island and you saw that and you're probably like, oh, world's ending.
Like that tribe in
Yeah.
the Indian Ocean that's like
Yeah.
uncontacted.
Yes.
They're like,
Oh.
God is coming for us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The hype, is it too much? Is it just where it needs to be? Are you driving halfway across the country to go see this?
So I think, I don't know how far I would go, but to be in the zone where it's 100% eclipsed, I think they say the totality zone,
Okay.
where it's 100%, I feel like that would be pretty cool to see.
Okay.
Now, how cool is it? Is it drive 2 hours cool, or is it book a flight cool?
There's people that like drove.
Yeah, I had a guy
across the
that
country.
took off work to drive up to like Buffalo and see it.
Yeah. I mean, I just watched videos on the internet of it.
I feel like if you're actually there and like does it get dark?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be kind of cool. Kind of cool.
Okay.
How long does it last for? 10 seconds?
No, they lasted a couple minutes.
It's a couple minutes.
Which is a really long time. In case anybody wants to tell you otherwise.
If you won Mississippi, that's a long time.
Yeah, and even if you don't, long time. 2-3 minutes. I mean, long time.
You count to 60 seconds.
3 times.
That is a lot of.
That's a lifetime.
That's a lot of thrusts, or eclipses.
Or eclipse time.
In this, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I feel like it would be cool to see. I feel like I'm not going to book a flight to go see it, but I feel like if it was within an hour away.
Well, you could see it from here. Like we
Yes,
had.
I mean specifically like the 100%. So I saw it here.
Did you get the glasses?
Yeah, I was actually at the gym. I don't know if you can tell.
Okay, where were you actually?
And, well, I was outside. 'Cause the sun isn't in the gym.
Okay, right.
They don't have one of those gyms.
That would make sense.
So I walked outside just to like see what was going on, and this guy was walking back inside, and he was like, "Do you have your glasses?" I said, "No." He was like, "Here, take these."
That's
So he
very
gave them.
nice.
So I walk outside, and like, I looked up, and it was cool. Almost the entire sun was covered, but I thought it would get like dark out. Because, like, looking up, almost all of the sun was dark. But when I looked around, like, nothing changed.
I didn't understand the glasses. Like one of the students gave it because like half of our school wasn't in school. Half the kids, because I guess they wanted to see it with their parents or whatever.
Didn't show up or left early?
There was a bunch that didn't show up already. Probably like, I think somebody said 75. And then throughout the day, like it was one after another. Oh, so-and-so is going to dismissal. So we had like half the school left by the end of the day. I don't know if somebody said kids were scared about it or something.
I heard that
know.
schools were getting let out early for it.
Washington County did. And it made sense because trying to teach during, so-and-so, it was just give us 2 hours early off. It happens once every 20 years, so it's not like this happens all the time.
Right.
We're always behind on shit. We're in the Stone Ages.
So you're not into the hype.
No.
Is that correct?
No. But is that hating?
I think unless you are literally where it's going to be 100% dark and like it looks different outside, yeah, overrated.
I put on the glasses they were pitch black. I was like, these don't work. I was like, you have to look at the sun with them. Oh,
Yeah, if you don't, then there's nothing.
it's just black. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was like, this is stupid. These aren't working.
no.
And then I went out, so I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So here's my question. They're like, hey, don't look at the sun or you'll go blind.
I peeked.
Is that same?
Who doesn't?
Is it just the same as looking at the sun on any other day?
I don't know.
Because that's always bad. But is it like worse?
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, what makes it worse? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never seen Star Wars. So
I
don't
would
know.
say Eclipse, I don't know, 3 out of 10.
Okay, that's probably fair. 3, maybe 4.
If someone was like, hey, do you want these Eclipse glasses or do you want this free pack of Eclipse gum? I probably would take the gum.
Right. Oh, that's
If I'm picking Eclipses.
That's an easy one.
Twilight, Eclipse. Isn't that one of the movies?
What are you talking about?
The Twilight series?
Oh, yeah.
I would say I would go Eclipse gum, Space Eclipse, Twilight Eclipse.
The girls said the Twilight movies. Remember they said they wanted us to watch
Apparently it's one of the best plot twist movies ever. But I'm not watching 3 terrible movies to get to the 4th one with the cool plot twist.
Yeah, yeah. Or just tell me what happens.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Eclipse, cool, I guess. There's a lot of conspiracies. I mean, if you get on the internet, a whole bunch of
Oh,
conspiracies.
they
about it.
fired up that particle collider?
Oh, the CERN,
Yeah.
the God particle.
And they were like, let's see if we discover
If
something.
we can create a portal or something, which was crazy. Remember, because I texted you and like this is going on,
Yeah.
and it was kind of similar to what was going on in that. What was it called? Three body
Problem?
problem on Netflix. Like it had something to do with the sun, like 3 suns.
Yeah, there was a particle collider.
And I was like, this is sketchy.
You know what worries me about that is like I feel like we're gonna go out and look at the eclipse, and then those people are gonna be like, hey, let's fire up the particle thing or whatever, and then all of a sudden like black hole, we're dead, gone.
Right.
Like what are you gonna get out of this? The only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna rip the Earth in half.
Well, at least we wouldn't feel it. I don't think we'd feel it. Like right away, right? They could create a black hole with that.
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
Like maybe just don't do that.
Yeah, or that like, I hate this movie, but Pacific Rim, those like demon things, they came through a portal.
I can see the anger just for you saying it.
Terrible movie.
So mad. So mad. Okay, so Eclipse 3,
3 out of 10?
3.5 out of 10.
Sure.
Let's do 3.5.
But if the totality zone is within an hour of me, I think I'd drive to go see it.
I don't like driving anywhere, so I wouldn't. Unless it was in my
No,
backyard.
we would do a live. I would drive and you'd be...
Hey, check it this out. And blinds everybody.
Yeah.
Fucking podcast. So, all right, well, that's the only non-sports thing I think we got.
Nerds.
Talking a little March Madness, maybe. But did you watch both games? I watched women's and
So, I didn't watch either game. Actually, the women's, I think I was going to try and watch, and I just forgot. The men's...
No.
Can we just get away from the top game of the year for college sports being at midnight on a Monday?
At insanity.
Who's scheduling these things?
People on the West Coast.
I don't care.
Like, do we care? Not for nothing. Fuck the West Coast.
Yeah, or just put it on a weekend.
Good. Right.
Solve
Like-
everyone's problem.
Like the women's game was at 3 o'clock on a Sunday. That's probably
You could do both games that day.
yeah. Do the men's game at like 6 or 7.
Yeah, or just move the whole tournament 2 days and do the men's game on a Saturday.
It just doesn't make any sense.
9:20 p.m. tip off on a Monday night. Yeah, not gonna do that.
Count me out.
No,
Count me out.
Okay.
Girls game though got
more views, I think.
it was like 18 or 19 million, and then the guys got like 14. I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with the start time. I don't think this year it mattered, just because the women's game was way more talked about.
I think that was gonna happen no matter what this year. And
right-
also,
rightfully so.
UConn was gonna win that game. They're insane.
That was to me, I think that's one of the greatest runs in a tournament of all time. They killed everybody.
And so in back-to-back years, did you see their closest game?
Was it 13 points?
13 points.
Yeah.
In 2 tournaments, back-to-back years.
That's unheard of.
That's amazing.
That's domination.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is they didn't have any superstars on their team.
Well, that's kind of what I was wondering because, like, what's the guy on Purdue? Edie? What's
Yeah.
his name? He's going to be a top draft pick. He's really
7'14".
Yeah, his head is taller than us.
He's big and ugly.
He's good, and I know that guy.
You better be good.
On UConn, I'm like, look, I don't know.
They're
Who's,
just
who's the guy?
They're fundamentally.
They're the
sound.
Patriots.
They're well coached.
Yeah.
And they just probably a lot of 2 or 3 years players.
Well, on the women's side, South Carolina also, except for I think one game, all double-digit wins, including over Iowa in the championship. I think they had one game that was close this tournament.
Oh, they dominated.
They went undefeated the entire year.
Yeah, which is
And won
insane.
every tournament game except I think one by double digits.
Even Iowa. I think ended up being by like 10.
They won by double digits, yeah.
Dude, that was special. I mean, all the talk about the Caitlin Clark but what South Carolina did, and Dawn Staley, she's unbelievable coach. I think she's one of the only coaches to win 3.
So let me ask you this: when the NBA All-Star break happened or whatever, there was a talk of Caitlin Clark doing the 3-point contest against Steph Curry, which is not comparable. Not taking anything away from Caitlin Clark. Steph Curry's like the greatest 3-point shooter ever.
Greatest shooter of all
But
time.
we have a friend who's very into basketball and also very into putting water on fires. If we asked him, Travis, shout out, the score of him versus Caitlin Clark one-on-one, not what do you think will happen, what do you think his
do I
answer
think
would
he
be?
would say? I'm going to see him in a little bit, so I will ask him. But
Because I remember having a similar conversation at our buddy's house about if we could beat Ronda Rousey in a fight.
and all the guys said yeah.
I said no, absolutely not.
Well, but there were some guys.
There
that
were
said
some guys that said yes. I'm like, there's no way you're beating
that's a
Ronda
tough
Rousey in a
one
fight.
too. I would say no. I mean,
I'm not beating Ronda Rousey in a fight. I have a better chance beating Ronda Rousey in a fight than I do beating Caitlin Clark in a pickup basketball game.
you're not beating anybody in a pickup basketball game.
Exactly.
so
Summer
that's-
could probably beat me.
Yes, in a race.
But if she goes for the dunk,
What you do that? It's kind of
Get out of here.
messed up. But that's funny. I remember one time we were in college, and we were talking about guarding LeBron James, and shout out Trav, love the confidence. He goes, "You're not scoring on me." He's like, "You will not." Like he's like, "My will," or I want that. I was like, I love the confidence, but
hey,
you're insane.
Yeah.
He's 6'8".
not
Right.
Travis, LeBron.
Right, LeBron.
If Travis gets 10 hours of sleep, he's 5'7".
That's
He's gonna be
a bit of
mad.
math?
He's gonna
Is
be mad
math?
at that.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
that's
kidding.
funny. Yeah, not beating Caitlin Clark probably not making 1 3-pointer.
You or her?
Yeah, probably. I might make 1 out of.
I don't think. I think I lose whatever we're playing to. 21. I think I lose 21-0.
1-on-1. I don't know how tall she is. Now there was, in which it's like what they've done for the women's game is awesome. I hope they just didn't focus too much. We'll see if it going forward, because she's leaving,
Yeah.
and we'll see if this sticks. Hopefully it does. But if you don't have a player like Clark who can,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. There's 2 things in basketball that gets the crowd excited or gets the players going, gets the moment.
I know
Do you
what
know what they are?
3-pointers and dunks.
Exactly. Right. So
Yeah.
dunking's out of the question. Just it is what it is.
You're right.
For the girls.
Unless you're Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
She's
Right,
still in
so
Russia.
I think they got.
Did they get her out?
We traded her for a pack of Skittles or something. I don't know. But Caitlin, being able to shoot the 3 ball like that, like Steph Curry of.
Yeah.
So I think there has to be more of that. But there's also great players that aren't doing that. There's the Paige Becker girl, the girl from USC, Juju Watkins.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna beat Clark's record, I would think, if she plays for the next 4 years.
Well, isn't Bronny James also at USC? LeBron's
Yeah.
son. They need to have a kid.
Who?
Not LeBron and his son. LeBron and that girl.
Oh, Juju Watkins.
Yeah, Bronny
Yeah.
and Juju.
Bronny and that
Sounds like a folk band.
brew. I don't know. That's stupid.
That was dumb. Yeah.
We'll edit that out. Probably won't. Probably won't. But yeah, it's been exciting. It's good for
Who's the girl from LSU?
Angel Reese. I think she declared for the draft.
Did her eyelashes have to declare separately?
She's from Baltimore. She'd whoop your ass.
I guarantee it.
Oh my God, she's got it. She's pretty tall.
I wouldn't beat her in a fight or a basketball game.
Oh, she's
which is fine.
Yeah. No, I mean her too. She's making college basketball exciting to watch.
Yeah, definitely the most watched it's ever been.
Yeah. So hopefully it just going forward.
Well, my neighbor is 2 doors down. Is a really old dude. He's like 84.
Does he hate it? Does he hate that?
We only talk sports. Like we literally don't talk about anything else. And I saw him outside like a week ago, and he's like, "You've been watching that women's tournament, man?"
Everybody.
And I was like, "Dude, it's crazy." And he goes, "This is the first year I've watched that more than the men's."
I would say.
Shout out Bob.
Bob. I would say for most people in the country, that's a true statement.
Crazy.
Right? Was it true for you?
I
Definitely true.
I barely watch. I did not watch any of the women's this year, but I did keep track with it. Like after I would play the next day, I would pull it up and I would look at Caitlin Clark's stats.
Yeah.
Because I was just curious how she was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem is we might have focused a little bit too much on her because it was like you're watching. What? Yeah. Now what? It's like, well, we're not going to watch Iowa anymore. You were only watching Iowa because of.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they'll use her and her record and find like Jujubee. They'll use her and say she's on track to break this record and use her relevance to.
True. She should be getting a hell of an NIL deal.
Man, like what do you even do? Like you're in college. There's no way you can go to class. Now that the kids, like first of all, you're already a superstar, like these college athletes. But now on top of that, people know you're worth millions. Like Reggie Bush had to like hide it, right?
Yeah.
Manziel, not that he did, had to hide it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's give Reggie back his Heisman.
Yeah.
Because to me, we might not get to this top 5, but if you're talking box office,
he's the best college football athlete of all time
and most exciting,
without question.
It's not like you were turning on USC games to watch him return punts, kicks,
everything. For someone being that high profile of an athlete, like I bet right now you wouldn't see that. Someone who was a running back getting that many carries, that many receptions, and punt return, kick return. I will say Saquon Barkley did that at Penn State.
He was a beast.
But very rarely do you see that.
No, especially not now.
And they took his Heisman because he like bought his mom a car.
Yeah, which is like, and then now guys are making it just doesn't make it. It's not right.
Well, they didn't take Manziel's Heisman.
Well, I think Manziel said something about he's like he's trying to get Reggie's.
I did see that. Yeah.
I think he said he's not going to the Heisman.
Sure.
Or whatever.
I think he probably just doesn't have a good time at that thing.
Probably not.
It probably can't do a shit ton of
another guy, he couldn't even take classes. He had to take online classes, which I'm sure he didn't actually.
There's no way.
Do any work.
Yeah.
You know?
And now the NIL deals are public, so it's like, oh, hey, kid, in my biology class, you're the starting quarterback, and you have $10 million. Yeah.
Can you imagine being him, hanging out with Drake? You're in college, freshman. So you're 19. You're 18, 19 years old, hanging out with Drake, beating Alabama.
Yeah.
As a freshman.
Awesome. First year in the SEC.
Unbelievable. Yeah. But Caitlin, like, I think we mentioned them because, to me, Caitlin Clark is she's box office.
Right.
You're watching the game to watch what she does.
You are bringing the crowd.
Yep. Like Steph Curry. He brings the crowd.
Dude, Steph Curry, when he was in his tournament, man, I remember.
Davidson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were a low seed, and he was just dropping dimes.
That's when you first heard about in the tournament. But yeah, that was good.
Well, speaking of young, successful, rich athletes, the O's have a 20-year-old number one prospect that's starting his first game. His first home game will be Friday. Jackson Holiday.
He's playing tonight, right?
Yeah, first game. First game up.
Yeah.
No, he was the number one college recruit, and now he was the number one draft prospect.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I can't imagine. O's electric. There's some electricity at Camden Yards.
Yeah, by far the most exciting the O's have been that I can remember. We were alive for the end of the Ripken era, but I wasn't like I was.
I would say back in 2000, like when we were at school.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were living together yet, but when they went on that run in 2000, I think 14.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
About that.
And what was his name? Dylan Cruz or something. that's the last thing I remember about them being exciting.
They have
Look,
so
some of the
many
teams
young.
look-
These are the type of teams that win, man. With all the young people.
Well, their farm system is unbelievable. Norfolk, they put up like 26 runs the other day. Like,
That's awesome.
they have the problem with Holiday is they didn't have anybody to like replace because everybody's good everywhere
Yeah.
in their system right now. So they got a couple guys like that, but there's dudes in front of them that's like, well, I'm not going to replace him. So
That's
they
awesome.
might end up trading a couple of these guys. But yeah, we got to get to one of those games this year.
Definitely got to get to an O's game.
We are going to Caps game.
Caps game Saturday.
Looking forward to that. Caps watched last night. They beat Detroit,
Right.
so they jumped into the second spot for that wild card.
But before that, hey, you're really close to not making the playoffs. You got to win. Caps lose 6 in a row.
6 straight. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, but they don't just lose.
It's in heartbreak. They'll go up. They were up 2-0 in Carolina, lost 4-2. Right, got their ass
Right.
kicked by Pittsburgh. A couple weeks ago.
It's either a heartbreak or they get
Yep.
dominated.
Yep. They just and they don't have a team this year. It's injuries. A lot of young guys. They just don't have the. I don't think. I mean, if you get hot at the right time, you never know. But
You have some vets. You just need a hot goalie, really, and they could pull it off.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, if your
A hot
goalie is not attractive,
If
you're
he's
not
great
gonna,
looking, yeah,
you're gonna win.
He's great in the set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing really well though.
For selfish reasons, I only want the Caps to keep winning, so the game on Saturday is cooler when we go.
I mean,
Because if they're out of playoff contention, it's not as cool.
it'll still mean something because I think they only have one game before that,
Yeah.
and then they have like 3 after that. So and it's rock and roll night,
Oh yeah.
and I saw that and I was like,
We got.
"Man,
Are we dressing up?
I got to figure out like what that means. A hockey game, like
I still have my costume.
we all just dress up as Motley Crue, and
All of us.
the guys dress up as Crue, and the girls would be our like groupies
Those
or
are-
something.
yeah.
Or is that wrong? Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. We'll be Skinnered.
We could all
It's
be
like-
Skinner.
Yeah, we get the whole crew can be,
That'd be 37.
which is crazy.
I'll be the pilot.
That'll be exciting. Games at 5. Yeah, and we're staying down there. As long as we don't go to brunch the next day, I think we're good.
Man, the only thing that worries me is the game's at 5:30 instead of the normal 7 time. That's a lot of night left after.
I would agree.
After the game.
Well, I'm hoping we're back at a hotel by at least 12.
Yeah.
Maybe earlier.
Depends how quickly we drink.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a lot to think about.
Were
And
you
do we-
serious when you suggested that we Uber home from DC to Frederick?
No.
Okay.
To the hotel. Are you serious?
Yeah, me and Abby thought you meant Uber back, and you were like, because we were like talking about which place to stay, and you're like, well, we
Right.
could always just Uber home.
No, because you said it was 30 minutes from the.
Okay. It's like,
Did that not make sense? Did I sound? I mean, you obviously thought I meant that.
yeah.
No, I'm not.
I always kind of
What, and
assumed
then
that
Uber back the
you're-
next morning to get our car?
Well, that's what I said. I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard, which is
That's one of
probably
the dumbest
why
things you've ever said.
Yeah, and I mean, there's
That
been
was-
that's a list.
Tony's grocery list level of.
Might have to start putting pictures up here
Yeah.
somehow. No, yeah, that'll be yeah.
Jackson Holiday, 20 years old, major league debut. The dude has got to be just
Juice,
crushing,
slaying,
just demolishing.
Off the field.
Steamrolling.
and you can just use your imagination.
Dude can't
to
even
look up.
legally drink. Dude's going to turn 21, go to Fed Hill, and there's not going to be.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't let him into bars now. It's like, here's my fake. Aren't you Jackson Holiday? You're
Yeah.
only 20. Yeah.
All right.
All right,
go
you're
ahead.
in. You're in. Same thing with Manziel. You think they would just not let him into a bar?
Dude,
He was 18.
I remember this wasn't Manziel, but this was about the, I think the 2001 Miami Dolphins or Miami Hurricanes. They were walking around Miami, and they went to this club. This is in the 30 for 30. They walk up to the club, and in the line to get in the club are the Miami Dolphins, and they make the Miami Dolphins wait and open it up for the Miami Hurricanes college
Yeah,
kids to go
yeah.
in.
That's Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
No, that was.
No, Irvin was
Is that the
99, I think.
Okay. This.
It was one of those teams.
Irvin was like 90s, 80s, 90s.
It was them and the Two Live crew. Like the Miami Hurricanes come in, that rap group, the Two Live crew.
Yeah. That might have been when Michael Irvin, like the 80s, 90s.
Maybe.
Because
It's just awesome.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? It must have been snowing in that club. Yep. So that's cool. Let's see, Caps game. We got the Masters coming up. Well, I'm actually we're doing a little bracket thing tonight, picking our golfer who's going to win, stuff like that. But Masters is always, that's one of those things that's awesome.
I'm not a golf guy.
I don't think you have to be.
I don't think I've watched, other than like maybe an ESPN highlight, I don't think I've ever watched the Masters in my life one time, to be honest.
Really. It's pretty electric. And Tiger Woods is playing. So
Is he
Tiger
playing well?
Woods,
How's Tiger?
I don't know the last tournament he's in, but he's in the tournament, which means you're getting that many more viewers. Tiger Red,
They got to keep him in there for the.
oh my gosh, dude, Tiger. And though I remember when he won in, was it 18, 17? Just
It would be cool if Tiger was pulling it off. I think I don't know, maybe. I don't think I watch it. I think I assume it's not going to be interesting.
it's
for
cool.
me.
I mean, and we all act like we know what we're talking about, which we don't.
Well, you guys also never let me golf with you.
Yeah.
So like, every time I've attempted to get into golf, it's immediately squashed.
Because you don't know how to play at all.
Right. And then every time you guys you're like, hey, we got a spot open. I'm like, oh, I'll go. And you're like, I will just do 3 then.
We take
So
it-
then I never get to learn, and then the cycle just continues.
Okay, you can't come out there and learn. You have to learn before you go out there.
Well, how do I do that if nobody
You
will
go to
golf
the
with me?
driving range, or you go see or you just figure it out.
I'm not paying an
Or play
instructor
by yourself.
and just be bad.
Yeah.
I need someone to be like, don't do that.
I don't have the patience for that.
No, I know. I don't want to do it with you.
I don't think you want to do it with any of us. It wouldn't be a good time. We would just be like, no, all right, just go sit in the car.
With the windows up,
Yeah.
no AC.
Right. Super hot. Yeah. Super hot out. Yeah.
All right, well then I'm not watching the Masters.
Oh, I'm hurt. I actually played Whiskey Creek yesterday with my dad. Nicest course around.
Is that Urbana?
Yes.
It's a whole creek of whiskey.
Yes, which is why it's $1,000 to play there.
Mm.
Actually, it was only 60 yesterday because the greens were aerated, but didn't play well. I'll tell you that.
Why would you?
But you drive through that like neighborhood, the houses are. You're like, Bill Gates live there. They're massive. All of them.
Good for you.
Yeah, cool guys.
I assume those people listen to this podcast. So hey,
Right.
invite us over. If one of you guys will teach me golf,
Yeah. We'll put them on the.
you can sit here and talk about our experience.
We got a third mic.
Yeah, watch out.
Tyler Ingram, I'm calling you out.
That's Summer's mic. Until we get another guest, that's Summer's mic.
Yeah, or Stone Cold's.
Oh yeah, we could. What the? Stone Cold, what'd you think of WrestleMania?
Speaking of WrestleMania, what would Stone Cold say? Maybe we get him on.
I mean, I'll email him.
Yes, I'm sure he doesn't have other stuff going on. Speaking of WrestleMania, great past weekend.
We experienced it. One of the greatest American sporting events. Has it always been 2 days?
No, I think that was literally like
That's recent.
2 years ago.
It's a whole weekend now.
2 or 3 years ago, maybe. Now it's a whole week. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
That's something we got to go to. That's up
Yes.
there with like going to a Daytona.
Dude, WrestleMania, there was somebody I actually invited. I want to say my buddy TJ, and I was like, hey, man, you want to come to this party? He said, I can't because I'm going to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome.
Electric.
So we had, by the way, did you like Instagram Live the party like you said you were going to?
I didn't do Instagram Live just because if things were said or done that I was like,
You can't take back.
But I put up I took some pictures and video of your wife doing the Ric Flair thing.
Yeah, the choke slam.
Went up to bed at 9. Shout out
Alcohol.
to shout out to Abby.
Well, we did a WrestleMania party Saturday.
Electric.
Nobody was there. You weren't allowed to enter without a costume.
Right.
Most costumes legit. There was a Nacho Libre and a monk to go with the Nacho Libre costume.
Yeah.
I was, of course, the revolting blob from Billy Madison.
Right.
Everybody else,
Did I tell you that Brooke asked if you were Patrick Starr? like yesterday. I was like, she was like, why did Nick dress up as Patrick? I said, what?
I had a cape.
Dude, I don't know. But the colors, the green
The colors
purple,
match, yeah.
I was like, that's kind of funny. I'll mention it. But,
That's why she's not here. She's dead.
yeah, she fell off a cliff. Died on impact. There were a lot of good costumes. I thought it was good. And you guys did a good job hosting with like the Booker T and like the snacks.
We did Kevin Snash burgers, Junkyard Dogs, Undertators.
Booker T. I thought that was probably my favorite.
Booker T was good.
I didn't get a chance to try
And
that.
then there was one more thing. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, good
Yeah,
party.
it was
We
good.
had a lot of costumes. If you did not see the video on Instagram, I got chokeslammed by The Undertaker.
Dude, you actually got chokeslammed.
So people were like, man, you guys choreographed that really well. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was happening.
No.
We were trying to announce who had the best costume. And I guess to show how good he was at being The Undertaker, our very large friend just grabbed me by the neck and slammed me. Dude, that guy is strong, man.
No
He just like
shit.
picks me up in my own living room. Wham!
He actually looked like the Undertaker.
Yeah,
It was scary.
it was awesome.
I didn't like standing. Every time I stand next to him, Keith is 6'8"
6'12", I think.
and a half.
Yeah.
And 3 something, whatever.
Oh,
Looks great for it. Looks great.
Yeah, huge,
But
huge.
I hate standing next to him because I just feel like a little bitch.
You are a little bitch.
Yeah, but besides that,
But next to him, it's like
when Travis was on his back, it looked like a little kid.
it looked like a backpack. Yeah.
It did. It did. Yeah. But yeah, that looked like her. You DDT'd Sam Rikishi into the ground with it. Like his head hit the floor first.
I did check on him the next day.
I promise you, he was concussed.
It got quiet when that happened.
Yeah, because we were like,
When I got chokeslammed, people were like, "Oh, whatever."
yeah.
Sam hit the ground, and it was for a second. We were like,
Well, and then he rolled over, like he was like selling it. But I was like, oh, is he actually has a broken neck?
he said he's okay.
Okay,
Dude,
that's-
I was sore for like 4 days.
I have a bruise on my arm. I'm not sure what it's from.
I got something on my elbow from like hitting the floor in the basement. Were you able to find the pizza boxes that
No.
were steel chairs?
I think they were camouflaged.
I think you were looking for pizza boxes. We got
Probably.
pizza boxes and we painted them silver. But on like pizza boxes, you check off what kind of pizza it is.
Right.
It's like, here's a circle for pepperoni or cheese or whatever, and there's an other. So I checked other, and then I wrote steel chairs as the type of pizza
Oh, that makes sense.
on the boxes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I got hit in the face about 17 times from pizza boxes.
Nobody went through a table, which I thought was.
I was expecting the table. I thought there'd be more damage.
I'll be
overall.
honest. I thought it was pretty tame compared to like what we thought might have had. Like if we had this, we've been talking about this party for how many years?
At least 2
Okay, if we would have done this party 5-6 years ago,
dead. Someone's in the hospital.
your townhouse holes probably everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
TVs broke. But now that we're mature
Yeah,
adults,
we pay taxes.
We pay taxes. We go on riverboat gambling trips.
Make our own beef jerky.
Yeah.
Some of us have kids.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, but it was still fun. I actually hit Travis across the head with that belt, by the way.
Oh,
I got him.
Nice.
I got him good.
Yeah, it was awesome. One of the great. So it's gonna have to be an annual party, I think.
It'll have to be. Yeah, I
Some people went legit, like Mankind, with he had the mask and the sock and shit.
Who was that, Joey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah, the sock. No, everybody did. I thought a pretty good job. I thought Brooke did really well with the Hulk.
The Hulk, yeah, the Hulkster.
Kevin was Captain Insano. That was pretty funny.
Captain Cena was funny. Also, there was a ring girl. So ring girl was supposed to be Randy Orton, and he texted me 3 hours before the party started and said, like, what if I change my costume? I said, the party is in 3 hours. He's like, well, I'm going to show up as a ring girl. And I was like, if you do that, that actually will be hilarious. Totally thought he was joking. And then someone's like, dude, there's like a tranny here. And I turn around and he's in like a bikini with a ring sign.
Well, here's the funny part is that there's no ring girls in WWE. So it's like, what are you doing? And I don't think he knew that. I told him halfway through the party, he's like, God damn it. I was like, that's like UFC. I don't even think that. I think it's only UFC, right?
I don't think
I
boxing.
don't think boxing has.
I don't think they can afford it now.
But it was funny. It was
Yeah.
good. Good laugh.
I was hoping there would be maybe like a Stacy Keebler, but I think every single person there was dressed as like old school dude wrestlers, except for 2 dudes who were chick wrestlers.
Right.
But we had Roddy Piper, Mankind, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. I mean, a lot of the old ones.
Gee, was Stone Cold Steve Austin there?
He was not. You know
That
who
was
you
the
are.
most disappointing. So
Yeah. There was some friendship betrayal. There was not a Macho Man Randy Savage.
the one I'm upset about is Stone Cold. It wasn't a Rock.
There actually was a Rock,
Yeah, but
but it was an out of the ring Rock,
that doesn't.
turtleneck Rock.
I wanted to see somebody with.
That
a
was
tribal-
Dwayne Johnson. That wasn't
Correct.
the Rock. That was
Dwayne,
Johnson.
whatever his middle name is, probably Robert or something.
Isn't it the Rock?
Middle name?
Dwayne the Rock
Oh,
Johnson.
you're right. The Rock.
That's why they call him that, because that's his middle name.
Oh yeah, you're right. But Fringe, the guy just bails on being. He got the first pick, and obviously, if you get the first pick, you're taking
The man.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, most iconic wrestler of all time, and he doesn't show up.
Not cool. You know who you are.
We should kick the shit out of him. Next time we see
I
him.
think my favorite thing in the world is not saying, hey, you guys want to hang out, or does anyone have any plans later, or whatever. It's just the text, one word text. Friendship with a question mark. That's
He betrayed.
that's what I'm all about.
Well, and he betrayed it. We should fill up a pillowcase with bars of soap and beat the shit out of him. Okay?
Yeah, I'm on board.
Let's make that a thing. What a jackass. Yeah, that was a good time.
So Stone Cold #1 for you? #1 all time? #1 all time
I can't-
favorite, like personal favorite, or like impactful, or what?
So like, I don't know. I think
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
there's a difference, right? There's like, who are your personal favorite wrestlers, and then who are like the most impactful for the sport. Stone Cold,
like Mount Rushmore. Like you could do Mount Rushmore, and then I could do like some of my favorites.
I think Stone Cold is on both lists. Personally,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
he's on both,
But rattle off some personal. Jeff Hardy.
right?
Love that guy. His body. He probably just wakes up and has to.
Has
take
to be in
morphine.
pain. Well, yeah. Also, Shawn Michaels, personal favorite.
Love
My
Shawn.
brother's all-time favorite is Randy Orton.
The Viper.
Which, yeah, I think I hate Randy Orton. Like he did, I hated his.
Yep. His character.
Yeah.
He was a great villain.
I can't put him in my top because like I was like,
You hated him.
I hate this guy.
Rey Mysterio was always a favorite.
Rey Mysterio and The Rock were like my favorites growing up.
Here's another example of Travis thinking being a little bit too confident. I go, dude, how you gonna do 6-1? He's like, oh, I could probably do that. Do you understand how hard that move is?
Dude, core strength.
Literally. So just doing that alone, you have to do it in the air. You have to jump, grab, so
Right.
coordination. So, I mean,
Just whip your body around.
I'm gonna get on him later today.
Man, there was a WrestleMania, this is like 12 years ago, and Rey Mysterio had tore his ACL or something, so he had a giant metal knee brace on, and he does the 619 and just demolishes some dude's face with his metal knee brace.
Those guys are so good at
Yeah.
it's so good. The best era for me was that Attitude Era. The
Yeah, of course.
99 to like 03, 04.
The best, for sure.
Absolutely the best. So
I was never a big Triple H guy, but I think Triple H has to be up there, especially now.
yes, he's doing a great job. I don't know what his title is, but
Isn't his title Vince McMahon?
I get
You are now,
Vincent.
the-
Hopefully without the misogyny and stuff like that.
yeah. Vince McMahon had a son, too, that was in WWE.
Shane.
He was a douche.
Yeah,
That
but
lame.
he would put his life on the line.
Yeah. He wasn't
Yeah.
afraid.
For sure. All right, so if you had to do a Mount Rushmore,
So Mount Rushmore, I'm going to say not personal favorites, but the most impactful to wrestling,
sure.
right? The ones who helped
Yes.
make the WWE what it is.
Or just iconic. Yeah, that's fun.
First, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan,
Yeah,
WWE
brother.
was struggling in the 80s, and Hulk Hogan basically became their first like nationwide superstar. Hulk Hogan took WWE and was a huge part of the reason that it took off nationwide. The Hulkster, Hulk Hogan,
Hulkamania.
dude's got a sex tape.
Does he?
Yeah. With his best friend's wife.
That's not good.
Yeah. We don't support that. Now, I don't know the guy personally, but I heard Hulk Hogan is a huge douche.
I've heard some things.
But for what he did for WWE, like in the 80s,
Yeah, we're just talking about W. We're not talking about.
he took them off and running. Like, I don't think Attitude Era happens. We're talking about like what Caitlin Clark's doing for the women's tournament right now. That's the equivalent of Hulk Hogan in the 80s for WWE.
Okay.
He's first superstar. Also, do you know what Hulk Hogan did before he was a wrestler? He was a professional guitar player in a band.
You don't say.
Yeah.
So he was just 22-inch pythons
Pipes.
ripping the guitar.
Just shredding. Brother. Shredding.
But did he just say brother? Like
That was the only,
So
every
song.
lyric.
brother? Oh, that was a
They were
shit.
like, you gotta stop writing songs.
Brother.
Just play the guitar and shut up.
Dude, I want the steroids.
Dude
I
has to
can't
have-
imagine steroids and cocaine being a good mixture, like for your heart.
No way. And dude was on
And
a
those
lot
all,
of
oh my
both
God,
of
him,
them.
Macho Man, Randy
Yeah.
Savage. Oh my. Okay, so I'm gonna agree with you. So we'll put Hulk Hogan on the Mount Rushmore.
Number 2, I would say, I'm going chronological here. Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Attitude Era, of course, is the best era. Stone Cold is the face of that. He has one of the most iconic moves. Some of the most iconic lines. Austin 316. The what? More beer. Well, what? Slamming the beers together. I bet there's people who don't know anything about wrestling and they just think this move with 2 beer cans is called Stone Cold for some reason.
It's awesome.
Like I took 2 cold beers and smashed them together.
Waste half of it, but that doesn't matter.
It's awesome.
at all. I'll do it with glass bottles next Saturday.
Dude, I did it in the middle of a giant Salisbury day drink one time in Nuzu.
Everybody
And
go nuts.
Everybody went nuts and it was one of the coolest feelings ever.
You probably felt awesome.
Yeah.
Probably didn't talk to any girls afterwards.
30 seconds later, I'm like, I'm covered in beer. I gotta go home.
I gotta go home.
But for a little bit,
For those 10
It was
seconds,
awesome.
you were euphoric.
yeah, Stone Cold is the man.
Just the feud with him and McMahon.
Awesome.
And like you said, Stone Cold Star, probably I think the most iconic. He gets the biggest pops. So when you hear that glass breaking,
Yeah.
fucking chills. The crowd goes nuts.
Yeah.
Like I watched like a top 10 pops, and he's like 6 of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, when you hear that glass breaking,
Oh my God, 100%.
it's just,
You're like, what is this guy about to do?
it's so awesome.
I love,
Has beers thrown to him out of the stands.
Yeah.
Like, I think he has it. And you don't learn these things till later, but he has a guy in the stands who's literally throwing beer. It's not just a fan. He has like a guy doing it.
that like goes around.
Yeah, he's chugging beers. Yeah.
I saw a WrestleMania one time where Stone Cold was like retired. In the middle of a fight, glass breaks. He comes out on an ATV with Keystone Light. Comes in the ring. Stone Cold's both of the wrestlers. I can't remember who it is. But in the match, Booker T is a guest referee. So he's Stone Cold's the one guy. Then he's Stone Cold's the other guy. And Booker T's standing there and he's like not paying attention. Goes up, kicks Booker T in the stomach. Stone Cold's Booker T. And then goes over to the booth and Stone Cold's them. It was like 2 minutes. Everyone got Stone Cold.
Dude,
And then he gets on ATV, drives away.
it's awesome every single time. The match with him, Shawn Michaels, and Mike Tyson is the ref.
Dude, unreal.
Unbelievable.
Stone Cold's the kind of guy where like you wrestle him, now your career has taken off
Oh yeah,
because
he
you
had
were
an issue.
you were in with him.
His show's pretty good on Broken Skull Ranch.
I have not seen it, but I know that
And he
he
has a podcast.
he has like a tequila out now too or something.
They all have tequilas out.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like he should have like a bourbon or something.
yeah. I'm sure it's not a tequila.
Have you seen the thing where he's trying like fruity cocktails?
No.
He's like, this tastes like shit. It's like mojitos and like stuff like that.
A lot of the wrestlers come off to me, and I think he probably just does a really good job. but a lot of the wrestlers come off to me as characters. Stone Cold, I'm like, I don't want to fight this guy. Like, just the way that he talks.
Do you
I'm
think
like,
if he gets in a fight, like a real fight, he Stone Cold stunners you?
I mean, he has to, right?
It'd be awesome.
I would pick a fight with him at a bar just to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, I got stunnered.
I got stunned
Yeah.
by the legend.
Hey, why doesn't Nick's legs work anymore? Oh, he saw Stone Cold at a bar.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So Stone Cold,
Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan.
and then
This third one, I feel like we're gonna have we're gonna have 3 on here.
number 3, I go The Rock.
The Rock.
Again, for the same exact reason.
Exact same reasons.
He's a superstar.
Yes.
And wrestling goes through like ups and downs, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not, ebbs and flows. Hulk brought into popularity, and then it's probably dipping a little bit, and then no, we got the Attitude Era led by Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
And then you go a little bit more, and it probably starts to dip as the Attitude Era ends, and then you got another superstar
Yeah.
with The Rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, whatever he is now is huge. And now I think I think The Rock has become Kevin Hart to me, where I'm like, I'm a little tired of seeing you. I get it.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
He's so massive.
Dude has to be taking steroids. Like, there's no way you're that big.
Yeah, there's no way that's normal.
No shot.
But he,
The eyebrow.
iconic. The People's Elbow,
Yeah,
iconic.
people's elbow looks
He
fun.
probably does the best promos. He cuts the best promos.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The Rock is like the best.
He's
hype
Showtime.
man.
He's entertainment.
Yeah. He's like a little more family friendly than like guys like Stone Cold and The Rock, so he's a little more marketable, I guess. But I think The Rock again brings a whole other group of people into the WWE, and his career has been so long,
You're going on 30 years.
and now he's one of the biggest movie stars, which just pulls more people into WWE. So I think The Rock.
Yep. Now this 4 slot, I think, hard.
The 4 spot, I do have a guy.
I've got a guy in my head too.
Definitely tough. And this one I'm iffy about. Because I feel like you could probably go someone older, someone more 80s, 90s, and that would be more befitting of this. But when I think of, like, again, what people have done to make WrestleMania and WWE popular, I think it's John Cena.
Ooh. Okay. I'm good with that answer. That's not my answer, but I'm good with that answer.
John Cena is like his character definitely gets boring. Like, he's always somehow the underdog, but always unstoppable. Like, he doesn't seem to like even like in movies. I'm like, this guy seems like he's not super funny.
Yeah.
He seems like he's really funny to kids, but that doesn't matter because
Oh,
I mean, compared to Stone Cold, he's G rated
I think he's like the number 1 like Make-A-Wish.
of any celebrity ever.
That's correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
So
likable.
I actually looked it up. I was just looking up some stuff about Cena, and John Cena was trying to be a professional wrestler. Got his like debut with WWF back then, I think, and he was in like 3 months there.
No, it was WWE.
Okay,
Yeah, because it was early 2000s.
and they're about to cut him, and then Shane McMahon on a bus ride hears John Cena rapping, like freestyling on a bus, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And John Cena's like, "Yeah, I rap. Like, this is a thing that I
Deal
do."
with it.
So they changed his like persona to be more leaning into that rapping stuff, and then he became John Cena, and he's one of the biggest wrestlers.
100%. Yep, I got no problem.
Also, massive. Like, dude is
big.
ripped.
They some of the bigger guys talk about who's the strongest you worked with, and he's always mentioned like
He looks. If there's anyone that I'm like, yeah, that guy's not on steroids, I feel like it's John Cena. He looks more like natural, but the dude is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not.
I
think they all
I
are.
don't think there's one guy that looks natural.
He looks
Maybe like a Jeff Hardy
enormous. Yeah, sure.
or Edge or something.
Big Show.
Yeah, I like that answer.
Okay.
And when you hear that his theme song,
What you
one of the best.
easily one of the most iconic entrances. I will say I like the old look more. The new orange "You Can't See Me" thing. I don't really like that as much, but
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, if it gets kids into wrestling, then
Oh yeah, the kids love him.
and
his
this is
career's
so
good.
fun to do.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm good with that answer. It's not my answer, but I'm good with it.
Your first 3 are the same.
Yes, Hogan, for all the same reasons, Stone Cold, Rock. My 4 spot is The Undertaker.
Oh, that's a good one.
To me,
yeah.
is the greatest character in WWE history.
The king of WrestleMania.
It's a character, like the Dead Man, and they say he was the general in the locker room, so he made sure guys were doing what they're supposed to and stuff like that. He made a surprise appearance. When you hear that, the gong or whatever, it goes
the
dark.
bells.
His entrances to WrestleManias,
All of them are awesome.
like, and as a kid, you're like, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually, and as a kid, you're like, so I thought he died. Like,
Nope.
no, he came back. So I just think as far as, in the Tombstone.
Oh, Tombstone has got to be one of the most
Oh my
iconic.
God, iconic. You usually don't get out of that. Usually that's like the final pin.
Right.
He does that, you're pinned.
Dude is enormous.
He's 6'10". Like I said, Keith looked massive, and this dude's 2 inches taller.
Yeah. That's
6'8",
awesome.
6'10". Yeah, and then he does the American Badass, which comes in on a Harley.
Awesome.
Right? The streak, that bothered me when Brock Lesnar beat him.
Agreed. Yeah,
It was
I would have.
unnecessary. Brock Lesnar he's already in the top.
Right. You don't need to give it to that guy.
No, to get him over, he was already over. Like, he didn't.
Right. You're already famous. You're already in like 2 Hall of Fames.
Yeah. It didn't feel right.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because he lost to Triple H like a few years prior to that in WrestleMania. Undertaker beat Triple H, but it was like a super long match. Also, maybe some of the best intros I've ever seen between the two of them.
Yes.
And it's like, if there's a guy that's gonna beat the Undertaker, maybe give it to this guy who's been wrestling for 20 years now, one of the biggest names. And then the Undertaker beats Triple H, and it's like, okay, so then, so no one's gonna beat him.
And from what I understand, Taker had no problem giving it up. Like, McMahon said, I need you to do this, and he's like, anything. So, I just think so that's my 4.
That's fair.
I'm good with yours. A couple honorable mentions. I think Ric Flair.
100%.
100% could have been.
I definitely thought about doing Ric Flair. Ric Flair has the most consecutive world champions.
I mean, and as far as iconic, the limousine ride.
Yeah. Woo!
That dude lived a life. Survived a plane crash.
Yeah.
Like,
he's in the movie Iron Claw too. Did you ever see that?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. He goes way back. Yeah, Ric Flair definitely top.
Triple H, like we just said, think he
Yeah.
could be in there. DX itself
Oh, it was awesome.
was one of the greatest times ever. Like,
Yeah.
how many kids you see doing that?
Yeah.
And
I
Shawn
think-
Michaels could have been on there.
Shawn Michaels, yeah. Randy Savage is one of the most
Talking about Macho Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the most recognizable people.
Yeah. I don't even know if that was an act. Like, I think that's who he was.
Yeah.
I
Could you imagine that guy like at a restaurant? Like, you don't know anything about him?
I'll take the prime.
Like, dude, just breathe,
He's
man.
like, dude, what? Are you okay?
Why are you so red?
R.I.P. He passed away.
Yeah, there's a lot, but I would agree.
There's a
Undertaker.
few that could, but I think we nailed it.
Yeah,
But yeah, gotta love that.
absolutely got to go to WrestleMania
Yes.
1 year
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm in on that. Yeah.
We'll do the annual recap. Did the video of me getting chokeslammed by the Undertaker make it on the Instagram?
It made it on the story.
Okay.
I had my intern ask me. He thought it was hilarious. I was like, that was for real. Like,
I didn't know that.
you
was
also choked me later in the night. You choked me with your insulin pump,
I
which
remember.
I thought was unfair.
I remember that. It actually happened at least twice, I think.
I was like, and that's when I was like, oh, it's getting kind of real. He's choking me with.
Was I actually like?
Oh yeah, I could feel it. I was like, dude, you're gonna hurt me. Actually,
I remember doing it, but I don't remember how much pressure
it
was
was
being applied.
so unnecessary. Everybody was like, Nick, stop doing that. I'll tell you another thing I liked about. I think as we have these parties more often, people were gone by 12:30 maybe.
Sure.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
6 to 12. I mean that.
We'll start at dinner time, We'll go to bed at a reasonable hour.
It was perfect.
Yeah, wake up at 8.
I feel like it's been all the parties that we do lately.
I'm-
Everybody does. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, like, when I buy, like, food and stuff for parties, I'm like, we're starting this at dinner time because people are going to eat this food if I'm spending money on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Those burgers were great.
The Kevin Snash burgers.
It was good. It was a good job. It was a good job.
Well, let me just ask this real quick.
Go ahead.
In
Lay it on me.
In general, theme parties.
Fan.
You're a pro theme party.
Fan. We have friends that are not,
We do have friends that are not.
which is fine.
As long as you're still pro friendship
I would
and
rather
participate.
I would rather do a theme party than have to dress up ever. 'Cause
Like, dress up formally?
Yes.
I hate that.
It's
I'm
my
not a fan.
least favorite. That's why I'm a PE teacher. I
Yeah.
could wear sweatpants.
100%.
Like if I could wear sweatpants to a wedding, I would.
But every theme party that is
awesome.
not dressing up, I'll do a theme party every weekend.
That's why Halloween's such an awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah.
great party.
I have received some flack about theme parties, and I just want to say,
Flack?
yeah,
Is that right?
is that a thing that people say?
Flack?
Yeah,
I don't know.
like,
I think theme party. I think we need more.
oh yeah, 100%. Send us your ideas for theme
I
parties.
mean, ABC parties in college were out of control.
Yeah,
we're
not-
not doing that anymore
No.
because everybody looks like shit now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not everybody. The guys do. How about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we look like shit in college too.
Yeah, it was more fun, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Young and free. I don't know.
All right. So what's our next?
Next theme,
Theme
party.
party. I've had an idea for one. I'm just tossing it around.
I'm just spitballing here.
I think we do a Christmas themed party, but in July. Christmas in July.
Well, you know, Suze would have to host that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or not.
You know?
Christmas in July. I think we can do better. I think there's better options, maybe.
All right.
Like, I love, like, a 80s night or a 90s night. But we did a 90s bar crawl up in Baltimore one time. That was pretty...
So what if, like, this Saturday we do like a rock night? Maybe we go to the Caps game.
And where... Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, maybe let's do that.
All right. Send us your theme party ideas. Top 5 theme parties
Oh, yeah, that would be a good question for... I don't know.
for the people that respond to all these questions I ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll get some response.
I'll check our
I
email.
like that. Now, off the top of my head, I can only think of like 80s or 90s.
All right. Well, let's save it.
Imagine them like, what are people going to wear, you know, let's say 10 or 20 years from now? Oh, 2000s. What theme would that be?
I feel like it's graphic tees and cargo shorts. But I also got made fun of for dressing that way, so maybe it's
Well,
not.
yeah, but people make fun of the people that dress the way they did in like the 90s
Yeah.
and stuff. Like,
I don't know, man.
what?
You'll have to ask Summer in like 20 years. She's like, Dad, I'm going to a 2010s party.
Can I borrow one of your rock t-shirts?
Yeah, like, those are from the 80s.
Yeah, that's. I remember for my bachelor party, I was like, it was between WWE
And
and
NASCAR,
NASCAR
right?
drivers, which I thought would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Like do a, but that got shot down. Yeah, we got time.
We'll discuss.
We'll discuss.
All right. Can I throw 2 shout outs before we wrap up here?
2?
2 shout outs?
Okay.
2 similar shout outs. Not this upcoming Sunday, next Sunday, April 21st. Stand-up comedy show at the Upper Deck that I will be hosting. We got 2 great comedians. 2 great comedians coming on to start, and then headliner is Winston Hodges, who's actually touring in like Illinois right now, I think. But he'll come home because he's from the DC area. He'll come home from his tour and headline Upper Deck. And then the following Monday, April 29th, I'll be on a showcase at Rack Brewing downtown. I'll be doing 15 minutes there. So peep my Insta.
Be there.
Or don't be there. That one's a Monday night. So.
Rack?
Rack Brewing.
I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, like. What's the.
Eagle.
Rack.
Cover 4. Oh man, that's a great. Joe Footsteps Flacco.
Give me the ball. I got you the ball.
Falco.
I got you the ball.
What's his name?
That's John Favreau.
Yeah, Danny Bateman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's unbelievable. What's his name? Footsteps Falco. What's it? Oh, Shane. Why did I say? I said Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Shane Footsteps Falco.
Falco.
All right, you got to score. Are you taking Paul Motley Crue or are you taking Footsteps Falco? You have one drive. Or are you taking Mike Winchell?
Honestly,
Taking Panthers.
you know what's funny? I feel like you can't go Mike Winchell because of how it ends.
Yeah.
But I honestly want to take Mike
I love
Winchell.
The heart.
I
Yeah,
f-
but
If you're gonna go hard, it's got to be Falco.
Falco.
Yeah,
Paul Motley Crue.
because he. Yeah, I think you go.
I'm good with that.
All right.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. It was pretty good. I thought it was.
All right. I'm gonna go poop.
You want me to edit that out?
No.